see Jimmy Lane as Reno Miller, a man driven to the very edge. And then beyond. The driller killer is coming.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of
Sadist Filth.
That was pretty fucking rock and roll, James. You can't see
Cheers,
right now,
man.
but I'm giving it the horns.
He's throwing up the horns.
Oh!
And faithfully, you've got your thumb tucked in.
Like that, that's how you do
Yeah,
it.
you don't want people out doing that.
Nah, if you do it that way, mate, you start spraying webs everywhere, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
It's gnarly.
Yeah. So today, James, in his infinite wisdom, decided he wanted to watch The Driller Killer, or as it's more affectionately known, Driller Killer. Even though it's in the film, it says The Driller Killer. Everywhere else it says Driller Killer.
Yeah, drop the. You don't need it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what they said about Facebook, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a better branded killer if you don't have the.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's still got his drill.
Is it better Batman or The Batman? Because, I mean, he is the Batman.
No, it's Batman. There's no hyphen. It's Batman.
Oh, The Batman.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah, we watched The Driller Killer, right?
Yeah. Film made in released in 1979
Yeah.
by Abel Ferreira. I'm going for.
Yeah, we're going for that. I'm going to say Abriel Ferreira's Day Off.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? You go for that.
Or I can call him Jim, whatever the fuck his name was, because in the credits he gave himself a different name, because obviously he didn't want to be associated with this.
Yeah,
bullshit.
he gave himself a name starring as someone.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like this guy stars as guy number 2 playing guy number 3.
Yeah. Yes.
But he's the director, I assume writer.
I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Actually, there's a good chance this film wasn't written.
There
So
is a
he's the
good chance that
director
happened.
and lead actor as well. So like, I know. So I said I think what this film was trying to be is it's a struggling artist,
Right.
living with living with his girlfriend and her friend, or they're in a three-way relationship. I don't understand.
Yeah.
They're all struggling to make money. He's an artist, and then the film was supposed to be him kind of like spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
And losing his mind while trying to paint his
The
masterpiece.
stress of his life of being an artist, getting paid to stay at home all day and paint, while having sex with 2 attractive women at the same time, and then occasionally they will go into the shower and have sex with each
And
other.
having the joy-
stress of that.
Sorry, and the stress of listening to punk music.
The stress of that is what drove this man over the edge. But yeah, also money problems. He's got money problems. His boss maybe fancies him. It's not his boss, it's his agent. Or
Yeah,
the guy that buys
the
his
guy who
artwork.
wants to buy his art.
Mm.
I don't know how that industry works.
Yeah.
Um,
If only one of us knew somebody that was doing art stuff.
if only one of us could listen.
I actually had to pause this film because I was watching it early in the morning and Emma came in and started drying her hair, and I was like, I need to catch every line of this witty dialogue. Now, last episode, I said that I would give this film 1 out of 5 because it's shit and I can't believe you were making me watch it. The second time round, I was like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Because there's points in it that are, like, they're not making me laugh, but it's like when you watch Big Bang Theory and you're like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Because I know that it's supposed to make me laugh,
but it's
not making me
succeeding
laugh.
at
But there's
all.
bits where I'm like, I would laugh at that if I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
This is what I felt
But that's
like
what that's
while watching
marketed
this.
at, though. Idiots.
Yeah. You know the bit where he's like, money, man. I don't give a fuck about money, man. This is what money. And he picks up the money and starts tearing it out. That's, money. That's what I think of the money, man.
You don't know art. Like, you think this is finished? All you know
What
is
the hell do you
bitching and eating and bitching and sleeping. So you don't tell me when you're done making art.
Look, man, you can't tell me when this painting's finished. I mean, obviously it's a single painting and there isn't another copy of it. And obviously I keep wetting the easel and going to paint it, but never actually touching the painting because it will ruin the painting for future shots. I mean, obviously it's not done yet. I mean, it looks exactly the same at the start
As when it started to when it finished.
At the end.
Though I really think he shouldn't have stuck that little speaker behind the eye that went
God,
every time he stared at the eye. It felt like he was going to be transported back in time.
So what's the fucking buffalo making him go crazy?
All right, so I watched this. I've watched this once and 1.5 times.
Why?
I watched it earlier this week, and we were going to do this before you bailed.
We were going to do this.
Excuse me. Sponsored by Peroni. I was going to do this earlier this week with you, and I watched it, and then I just kind of, I forgot everything because I've watched a load of Fear the Walking Dead in between. And I watched half of it again today, and it did seem better the second time around.
Yeah, I know,
Watching
right?
it the first time,
genuinely better the second time
I was clawing
around.
my eyes out. I was like, someone passed me a drill.
I don't know what... Somebody passed me a really ineffective killing weapon.
So I can drill like half a centimetre into my forehead.
I don't remember the mindset I was in when I watched this the first time. It was probably around college time when I started watching a fuckload of video nasties, and I'm fairly certain I got Driller Killer in a pound shop, and I'm almost 100% positive because I saw the cover and it was like the homeless guy getting drilled in the forehead, and it was one of the DVDs that had that in the top corner, and then in the bottom corner there was another film. I can't remember. It was flipped on the other side of the DVD. I don't remember what the other thing was. It may have even been something called Night of the Demons. It may have
related to demons.
No, but the demon on the cover looks like
a
demon, but she's like got a martini in her hand or something, and like about to eat the fucking little martini fucking onion. But like, I don't know what my mindset was. But I remember. Watching it struggling
it's
through
not a good film. I was
struggling through
I
it.
struggled
I don't
through
know
it
why I
earlier
sat
this
till the
week.
end. I was just like, well, this is going to get better. Because I noticed when I was watching a fuckload of video nasties all in one go, that like all the best bits that these films are known for, they're about 30 seconds of the hour-and-a-half film. And you've really got to sit through a load of shit to get... And there's only a few classics, like Zombie Flesh Eaters, that I can watch again and again.
Oh, Demons, maybe.
Demons, yeah, OVs. But this was like, I was just waiting for it to get good, I think.
So that's the thing.
I didn't even remember the ending, and when I watched it the second time, I couldn't remember like how the fuck this film ended.
So this film was like one of the big like catalyst films that drove the video nasties ban, but like famously, like this film was chosen for that because of the cover. Yeah, not because of the actual content of the film. Because if anything,
not that bad in the film,
this film is more like an art film. It's this guy trying to make an art film about like an arty film, like an art house film about a struggling artist, and that's why it's not. It's
the
not
video
gore
nasties thing was a thing. Because the video nasties came around in the 80s when video came around, and they were like, let's just make cheap, easy, fucking shitty horror films. Give them fucking sweet covers to lie to people.
Yeah.
This is from the 70s, so it's before all of that.
But apparently, this one was one of the big ones that
I think that's how I heard of it.
Went towards it,
Yeah.
Which is why I was interested in watching it. But Jesus Christ. So this film it's not like a tip. The guy runs around and kills a load of people with a drill. I mean, spoilers. But it takes
just
about
like
40 minutes.
For our younger listeners, right?
We have younger listeners?
If there are any younger listeners, like people that don't remember life before mobile phones or don't know the joys of a Commodore 64 loading screen and the like subsequent epileptic fits that went with them. This is before drills with batteries in them existed. Because when that power pack thing was advertised on TV, I was like, what the fuck is that? Even I was like, what the fuck is that thing? Because like now, like...
Is that like a belt?
If they make this film now, he'd be driller killing people so much easier because he's just got a battery. If anything, the battery will run out and it will be like a bit naff.
But no, he was running out on the street, and I think at one point he uses a cordless drill.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no cord in it, and then
That's
it,
probably
then
just
it
a
cuts to
mistake.
it afterwards, and he's running along, and the cord's dragging along on the floor.
Oh my god.
But it takes like 45 minutes to get into this film. They've
Yeah.
got so much setup. Basically, this guy moves in. Oh no, sorry, he's living in this apartment. He's struggling with rent, and then this rock band turn up, this punk band. And they rent a room, saying to the landlord, like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be quiet. We're just like a string band.
Yeah.
We just play violins." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool," because no one's ever been annoyed by a violin in their life. Yeah, and then he
Michael
gets
J.
like,
Fox gets annoyed when you do little violins at one of his speeches. That's a reference to Curb Your Enthusiasm and to just being horrible to people in real life.
So it takes like 45 minutes in before the first kill. And I mean, you see a couple of little bits beforehand.
Where he's just getting covered in blood, right? That one shot that it keeps going to.
No, before that's pretty cool. When his like girlfriend's walking along, she's got blood pouring out of her eyes.
Yeah.
But there's a bit where he's like spying on everyday life from one of the towers.
Yeah.
And he watches this guy, and there's a really. I quite like the music in this. I
didn't have a problem with it. Even that stupid eye thing, like the first time round, I was just like, this is so dumb. But the second time round, I was just like,
Bloop, 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 bloop.
yeah.
Makes sense.
it fits this fucking film.
Yeah. He's spying on that guy, and he runs up and stabs him in the back. And like, I think the idea is throughout that 45 minutes, he has something else, and then he goes into his landlord to be like, "Hey man, look, can you tell them to keep it down because there's a punk band playing 24/7 in the flat next to me."
And the guy's like, "Man, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a problem with it, it's okay. Even though you said to them, you're not going to play this music,
and he's like,
right?
"Oh, and by the way, I've got a gift for you," and opens up his cupboard and pulls out a skinned rabbit. And he's like, "What, man? Don't you know how to cook it?" And then
Where
he goes
did you
up
get
and
that in a sprawling metropolis like New York City? Was this
Yeah.
just a fucking little kid?
it's a sewer rabbit.
They just run rampant in the streets of New York like we have foxes. Emma got woken up by a fox the other day and she was terrified because she didn't know the noise they made at night time.
The screaming
It
howl.
sounds like fucking screaming women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It might have also been the
was-
screaming
yeah.
women outside.
Lots in your cellar.
The Fritzl. It's a good place to go, James. You
It
should
is.
come spend a... Why don't you stay a while?
Oh,
Why don't you
God.
stay forever?
Is that genuine? Because I will. I don't want to pay rent.
You won't pay rent, but you're going to have to raise some illegitimate children.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'll raise our kids. So yeah, he starts stabbing away at that rabbit's
Yeah,
head,
right in his
doesn't he?
stupid face.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that'll teach you for being dead and skinned.
it really annoyed me. It really annoyed me that they would like cut to a knife stabbing this thing, and then cut away for a second, and then you see it come up and go. It was totally out of sync with like the reaction shot of him pulling his arm away and the
Yeah.
actual stab. But I mean, I think there was only one shot in this that I actually liked,
Which shot was that?
which is towards the end, where there's so much in between. So his boss basically at the end comes in, he's like, "This painting's a piece of shit," and goes off on a massive rant.
Goes off on a really well acted rant.
Yeah, everything in this film was pretty much improv. I don't think it was scripted in the slightest, because I think they said, "This is your topic of discussion, roll with it.
Yeah.
We'll just keep filming until it comes to a natural end."
Do you know what though? Like, again, I said last time it wasn't great, and then again I just said earlier on the second time round it was better than I thought the last time. But even this, even if what you say is true and it is like it isn't really that well scripted and it's just thrown together. He still did a better job than fucking The Room. Like, I'd rather watch this than The Room.
I'd rather watch The Room.
Yeah, but The Room is so shit. But at least The Room is like, you know it's shit, but they, while they were making it, didn't know it was shit.
Yeah, he thought it was just perfect.
Whereas this, it kind of worked a bit better. Whereas The Room is shit.
This, you could tell, was done on like a proper shoestring, whereas The Room, like, he bought the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
So at the end, he's standing there, I think he got pissed off with his boss, and he called him. He told him to come back. He's made like the best painting ever, and then
Well,
his
he's
boss
freaked out by
comes
this
in.
point.
And
He
he's
didn't
just,
say. He didn't say about the painting. He implied that he was going to have sex with him if he came to the house.
I totally didn't read into
Yeah,
that.
and that's why the guy came to the house. Because
With a bottle of wine.
Earlier on, one of his girlfriends is like, he blatantly wants to fuck you, man. He's like, well, you don't even know what fucking is, you know? And he gets some porn. He's like, this is what fucking is. And he starts ripping it up. He's like, that's what fucking is to you. That's what fucking is to you. And he goes to the fridge. And he's like, you don't even know what food is. And he starts drinking milk, and it's all going down his front. He's like, this is how you milk.
This is milk.
This is milk.
You don't even know how to eat half a pizza. You want some peppers?
It's just, it's just sitting in the fridge, Oh my god, the mic fell forward. The mic lunged for me, James. Did you see that?
I saw.
Wasn't enjoying my
you.
Gabriel Ferrero Rocher impression / just Woody Allen, basically. He was just doing a Woody Allen impression in this guy.
I think some of the best horror in this film was him eating that pizza. Him eating and drinking, or failing to eat and drink.
That was a weird bit, because that guy knocks at the door, and he just looks at the door, and he goes back to eating his pizza, and then knocks again. He's like, it's like, do you even know what an open door is? You don't even know. And he went over the door and ripped it open, and the guy's like, can I come in? He's like, do you even know what coming in is? That was pretty much that scene.
Oh, who was that guy?
That was the punk rock guy who wanted a painting for his album, which he painted. And then he fucked his girlfriend in front of him, and he just stood there painting like it was no thing.
His painting, he's capturing his
He's
soul.
like, ain't no thing, he's just painting.
Well, he's got two of them.
You don't even know what painting is. You don't know what art is. You can't tell me when it's finished.
You can't tell me when something just kind of wobble sounds into me. Tells me what to do.
Do you know what? I tell you what, the whole way through this, I'm waiting for that band to get killed.
Yeah,
he doesn't go after
at the end. Okay, so half of the fucking film as well is the band playing music.
Yeah, I think it's just.
And
his
then
mate
they
being
even
like,
sit
mate,
there.
I've got some songs.
They even sit there and focus on like the band as a whole on a couple of scenes, and I'm like, why are you giving them character development? They don't need that. They just need to be like the noise in the background.
They're right. They don't need any character development other than the bit when they kind of threaten one of the girls, which is a bit odd, and then never went back to. Because
you're
right. They
why,
really don't
why
need
do you have
any
those girls in? They don't know
development.
what they're doing. They can't even sing on time.
Yeah. I mean, do you even know what singing on time is?
Do you even know what the lyrics are?
I'm an artist, man. Yeah, you're right. They had no meaning to be other than to be playing loud music all the time. That you didn't need to focus on them. In fact, you never need to see them.
You didn't need to meet him.
You didn't need to go backstage with him and see him being like, like all weird in the background.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck's he doing? He's like, get out of stage.
Well, that's the whole thing of it
What
being
was
an
the
art
point?
house film and not a horror film, I think.
I don't think it is a horror film, is it?
No. I mean, the guy goes in a bit of a spree and kills like 15 homeless guys.
Did it remind you of American
Psycho? Definitely. Because
the first time
to be honest, you don't know if he killed them or not.
The first time he killed one. Yeah, exactly. And you don't know if he actually killed them or not.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what as well, like, alright, American Psycho, there's a bit where where the ATM tells him to feed it a cat, which obviously isn't happening, he's imagining it. And there's a bit where, as I see it, when he's shooting at the policeman, and the car explodes in a ball of flame, I see that as, that didn't happen either, and it was all in his mind.
Yeah.
Because he's driller killing people, and then he's not covered in any blood, and there's blood everywhere when he's drilling killing. And now that I think about it, people die way too easy. Like I was like when I was watching, I was like, people are dying way too easily.
No,
like, a guy gets
not
drilled
the first
in the
one
rib.
though, being drilled in the rib. Like he gets a good drilling.
But you can.
He drills him hard.
You can lose a lung and still live. So getting drilled once.
You can
through
lose
the
a lung, but you can be
unless
like
he drilled him in the heart.
he's muddling around. He's got that
he
drill
was
in his
mixing him
ribcage,
up.
and he's just
Yeah,
like
he was mixing
swirling
him
it round and round and round.
But there was later guys
gonna
where he
jumble everything.
where he just drilled them one time and that was
Yeah,
it.
he would
They were
run up
gone.
to people, he'd give them a quick drill in the back, and then run off.
My favourite drilling was when he drilled Beetlejuice. Or, I don't know, like, it was the guy was like a cross between, like, Beetlejuice and, like, Jack Nicholson. The one in the bus stop that was just like, hey, Dad, I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married.
The one who, the one
He
who
was
kept
cool.
going up. They focused on him for like
He
5
was
minutes.
cool.
He went on a rant, and then someone else got on a bus who was shouting at, And then Driller Killer ran along and just drilled him.
Drilled him from like, first of all, the drill bit you've got is about 4 centimetres long. So
he drilled him through the glass.
Something first is pointless.
So he drilled him through the glass and into his back. I think it was in between
a crack in the glass because he followed him down.
No, I think that was a bad.
But drills don't work like that.
I know, because I was like, how is he supposed to be drilling down through this glass?
Yeah, that was fucking dumb.
Yeah.
He just drilled that guy in one point of the back. Yeah, that guy's going to be crippled for life, but he's not going to be dead.
Muddled his spine up.
Oh, he muddled it up. It's just the spine spinning around like a drill.
Yeah, it's just stuck on the drill.
Also, I'm pretty sure later on, like, although we don't see it, I'm pretty sure later on he shoots a guy in the neck with the drill. And the drill, again, that's 4 centimetres long, goes through the guy's neck, which is about 4 centimetres, and then through the door, and then that woman comes home, the not as hot one, is just like, what the hell? Why is there a drill bit sticking through the door? And then she opens the door and the guy's hanging on the door. Like, what the fuck? And then he sneaks up behind her and she's screaming. He's like, it's just me, it's just me. Well, yeah, you're the guy with the fucking drill. Speaking of, what was that scene about in
at the very beginning
of the door?
So the very beginning,
that was blatantly to set up that he had a drill, which you don't need to do because the film's called The Driller Killer.
Yeah, so he walks in on one of his housemates or girlfriends, revving a drill in a room, and then he's like, whoa, what's going on? You're going to hurt yourself. Takes the drill off of her, and then he's like, what do you want me to do? I want you to put a hole in that door. And I'm thinking, you weren't even anywhere near that door. You're inside that room.
What do you want to put a hole in the door for?
But not there. Not on the left. You wouldn't do it on the right. There? Yeah? Start revving. No, not there.
That scene went off
on the left.
And this is why it made me think this is a comedy.
No, not on the left. No, on the right. Not on the right? No, on the centre?
No,
not on the centre?
Up, at the top. On the bottom. Yeah, this is what made me think this film was a fucking comedy.
No, I think they're just padding out every scene.
They're like, look,
unintentionally,
the film needs to be 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
The script you've given me, it's literally just a piece of paper that says The Driller Killer on it. And it says tramps.
There's a couple of tracks here of like a punk band. I don't know what's going on.
You've given me a piece of paper that says The Driller Killer on it. There's literally a coffee stain where you've put your mug on it, and you've also given me your mate's CD. And CDs don't exist yet, so like I don't know how
am I supposed to read this?
What am I supposed to do with this?
I mean, I've tried running a needle around it. It's just not working.
I don't know who this guy is, but from the picture that's supplied, he looks like he needs some unnecessary character development. I wanted him to get taken out.
Yeah, same. I wanted him to run down and drill
everyone. Yeah. Just go drill crazy. But no, you just drill
rig up all the doors with drills on them.
And then they introduce characters like... There was one in the alleyway, a homeless guy in the alleyway that was like, "Yo, shut up, guy!" because he was like rocking out while the guy was painting. Now, Driller Killer didn't hear all this because Driller Killer was busy painting. But then out of nowhere, Driller Killer appears and he's slaughtering that guy.
Yeah. He was on his side.
Unless it's fictional again, and that's what he's thinking about while he's painting. He's thinking about this crazy guy. That's what how his art works.
Well, the thing is, like, his life is surrounded by, like, he gets off on like the evil parts of the world. That's why he's like spying and looking out for people. Yeah. And also at the beginning,
he always seems pretty bummy, pretty homely.
His girlfriend was like reading out like all the headlines of the murders.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I prefer that one." He's like, "Yeah, that one's much better." And then when he's slightly disturbed, she reads one out, and he's like, "You don't even know how to read papers."
Yeah, you don't know what paper is. You don't know how to drill or kill someone. You got to get a 4-inch drill. You got a 4-centimeter drill. You got to drill them right in the spine.
You got to give them a little tickle on their forehead.
Oh,
so it draws blood.
That was a nice kill. That one. He seemed to be pretty alright with the homeless people because at the start he was like chilling out with them with his sketchbook and stuff.
So do you remember that one homeless guy where they focus on him and he just spews? He's laying there and he just drools out.
Do you reckon these were actually homeless people? Like some of the
yeah,
shots,
I think so.
They were genuine
yeah,
homeless.
I reckon so. They look fairly homeless, and he was not paying for any kind of makeup.
Now, he may have paid for some makeup, right? And here's the makeup he paid to black someone up. Did you read the trivia for this?
No.
The guy who made this, right, claims. Now, it's a bold claim. It's before the guy's even famous. It's before the guy even had his big hit. He claims Bruce Willis is in his film.
No.
And Bruce Willis is allegedly the guy that comes up to the window near the start of the film and cleans the taxi window and then leans in the car and stares at him weirdly, even though it's clearly a black guy. He claims that was Bruce Willis. He claims
that's blacked up Bruce Willis.
He just says it's Bruce Willis. He didn't say he blacked him up, but that's clearly not Bruce Willis.
Or
I don't know where he's pulling
Bruce Willis after like a long holiday.
Bruce Willis was apparently a homeless black man.
There could be another man called Bruce Willis.
True. But would he have been in Driller Killer? Like that opening, what the fuck was the opening even about? Like
at the very beginning, he goes in, he gets called into the church. And also, please play this very loudly.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
And he goes into the church and this old man touches his hand in the car. He's like, can you believe that? He touched my hand. Like,
I mean, do you even know what a hand is?
Who reaches out and touches someone's hand? It's like, he's probably family. No, he's just some weirdo who's touching my hand, raiding the trash for his next meal. And then he goes out and he's best friends with the homeless man.
Yeah, then he chills out of fucking homeless people, raiding the trash for his next meal.
Yeah, because he can't afford anything. He's a bum.
You know what the opener reminded me of? It's like a fucking Goosebumps book where like you've got to grip them in the first chapter, right? You've got to grip these people because you know this film's going to be shit.
It's a nice there was minute scare.
They knew filming it that there was going to be chunks of this film where they're like, should we drill a hole here? Should we drill a hole here? Like, they knew that was going to happen, so they had to grip them in the first
we're going to have 45 minutes of nothing.
Yeah, but like the opening, like a Ghostbusters book or something, was something that happens that has no relation of anything later on.
Unless he cursed him.
Yeah, but there was a weird bit when they were like, first of all, why was he in the church?
Well, apparently the nun
had a piece of paper with his number on him.
Yeah, the nun had called him, said that this old man had given her that piece of paper with his name and number. Said it was a distant relation.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Like, why did he have his name and number?
Devil. It's the devil getting inside of him.
Apparently, this guy, that old man that touched his hand, is somebody from like those old westerns and stuff, and that was his final film. What a fucking swan song!
Yeah.
What a way to go out.
Oh man.
Touching a guy's hand. It's like that fucking
at the beginning of a terrible film.
I reckon John Hughes watched this film and was like, I'm gonna do something with that character. I'm gonna make him, Home Alone, the creepy old man that's next door that scares Macaulay Culkin. And then he comes up to him in the church and says to him, you don't need to be afraid. I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, really? Well, stop fucking staring at me like you're going to kill me. Don't come into your fucking shop with your bloody hand, put it on the counter and fucking stare at me like you're going to kill me. Yeah, like you're going to bury me in some sort of snow.
Bury that spade into my neck.
What? Stop that shit and I'll talk to you, motherfucker. Like, you've got a kindly old face, but not when you're doing the crazy eyes.
It's like that old woman in the second one who tries to feed him to the pigeons.
Don't be covered in birds.
No.
If you're going to talk to someone in the park, don't be covered in birds.
I've seen birds. It doesn't end up well.
Exactly. Like that one guy lost an eye. Shit got crazy.
Yeah. Tons of poo all over the climbing frame.
Oh my god. Your coat is just made of bird shit right now. You could probably peel the bird shit off and have a bird shit.
You'll have a second coat. Yeah.
Exactly. You're literally coated in bird shit.
You know, I had a fear with this film especially that we'd go off on quite a few tangents. Because I was thinking after this film, we're probably going to struggle to talk about it. It's not very good. Happens. Yeah. Nothing happens in this film.
If anyone out there, first of all, if anyone out there listens to this, thank you. But if anyone out there listens to this and likes Driller Killer,
let us know why.
Let us know what it is about that film. I mean, this is back in the day, like before we had the internet and before we had... It was even kind of before video, but it was around the time of exploitation cinema. Mm. So you make a film called Driller Killer, people are going to go see it.
Yeah.
It's like now they're like, I'm going to make a film called Human Centipede. Or what's his face? Samuel L. Jackson was like, Snakes on a Plane. I like the sound of the film. For some reason, I own that. I've got 3 copies of that on DVD.
How? Why?
It was bought for me because people were like, you're going to like this. And I'm like, trust me, I don't like it. Like, I appreciate what they did, but it's not great.
Planes?
I just don't think it's a good film.
It's not a good film.
It's not good at all. They could have tried harder.
I think this film I came very close to not watching. If I wasn't watching it for this podcast, I would have turned it off halfway through.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I don't know
only
how
done
I sat
that
through
to
it the
two
first time.
films.
Oh my god, what are these 2 films?
Black Snake Moan.
I haven't seen it.
Jesus Christ. I tried to watch it in Freshers with my mate Chris, and I think we got halfway through and had to have a break, and we went to the student union for a couple of hours and got tanked. Came back and still couldn't finish it. And the first was a film with Ashton Kutcher in it, I think, like a vacation type film. I got halfway through it and walked out the cinema. The only film I've walked out the cinema in.
I don't think I've ever walked out of the cinema to anything.
But this film, I don't think I could have pushed through.
Do you know what? I've never walked out of the cinema or anything. There have been stuff where there hasn't been that many films. Like I've seen some shit films and then just like, well, I'm halfway through now. I might as well finish it. But there's a channel on Freeview called the Horror Channel.
Yes.
Right? Now it's an awesome channel and they've got some awesome shit on there. But they've got some like children shouldn't play with dead things. I've always wanted to see that.
Never heard of it.
And it was on there. So I set that bad boy up to record and I went to watch it. And with everything on that channel, it seems to be like a really shit VHS copy they've got. And it's such bad quality that I couldn't hear or see. Like the opening was them walking around in the dark and I couldn't see for shit. Like I know there are better quality versions of that out there. Just stick the DVD on air.
Yeah.
Like there are better qualities.
Again, the version of this that I watched
10 minutes
was
and I was like,
awful.
I'm not watching it anymore.
The version of this that I watched the first time around was awful. Then I found a much better version on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube too. I'm pretty sure I got rid of the DVD. I don't think I even sold it. I think because I paid £1 for it, it probably just went in the bin. Because nobody wants Driller Killer.
I'll tell you what this film does remind me of. If you were to take Toolbox Murders and American Psycho
Toolbox Murders
and blend them,
yeah,
that's what this film is.
Yeah, it reminded me of American Psycho a lot.
I could do it watching Toolbox Murders again. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I'm pretty sure I've got your copy of that on DVD.
God damn. Yeah, because I have both of them.
You've got both of them, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have both of them?
Maybe. I've got the one that's the like Vipco Vault of... Not Vip... Is it Vipco? The Vault of Horror
skull
thing.
one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so... yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that as well.
The next time we're going to do Bay of Blood.
Of course.
Because you've mentioned it before and I like a good Bay.
Yeah, I like a good Italian
Not
horror.
Michael Bay.
Oh, no one likes a good Michael... Well, everyone likes a good Michael Bay, but we haven't seen him in a while.
Name a good Michael Bay. Name a good Michael Bay.
Bad Boys.
Alright. Bad Boys 1 is good. I used to think Bad Boys 2 was
Bad
the
Boys
shit.
2.
And then I think me and you watched Bad Boys 2 when we were in Archway. Was that with you?
Yeah.
And it wasn't great.
Because I had never seen it.
It really wasn't great. I remember it being fucking amazing and blowing my mind at the cinema. And then the second time round, I'm just like, this film shit. First of all, this film's like 3 hours long. Why is Bad Boys 2 like 3 hours
It's
long?
a Michael Bay film.
Oh,
That's his minimum. Anyway, wait. Horror.
Right.
Okay, what are your like take homes from this? What are your redeeming factors from the film? What did you actually enjoy?
Well, like I said, it was better the second time round. There were points when it dragged. There was a nice bit where he went on a weird killing spree and you're like, okay, cool. Then it dragged again. I didn't mind the ending that much. I don't think there was nothing particularly stood
Did he
out.
rip that guy's heart out at the end?
No, he just drilled him once in the back.
What
and
was
the guy
that
fell
thing
over.
that was like laying on the counter towards the end? I'm sure it was like a heart. Or was it the rabbit that he
Oh, it was
mashed
the
up?
rabbit. I don't know why he had the rabbit. He brought the rabbit.
He didn't finish eating it.
Yeah, it's so weird because there isn't a
There's
bit
no
where I
redeeming
particularly
factors.
liked it, but I knew the second time around I didn't particularly hate it, although it was slow and boring at points.
It really was. I think it just takes
There
so
is
long
no-
to get into it.
I
mean,
think-
I thought Demons took a while to get into it.
Yeah, this took fucking
This-
longer.
this-
Like you
this
see
is
a
half the
demon within
film.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah, this
in
took half the film to get into it.
Yeah.
And then it had about 10 minutes of action or less. But yeah, the bit I like is when he gets his agents come in and fuck him, and he's standing there with a drill, and it's actually all right lit. And it like tracks down his body, and he's holding the drill and he's revving the drill up. And that bit actually looks nice. And then he gives him a good drilling.
He drills him good.
Yeah, well, I was hoping
That's
for that,
what he
wasn't
wanted.
it? Yeah.
Like,
That's why
he got drilled in the throat.
See, I thought he was saying like, yeah, I got my best work here. I've done a really good painting. I thought that's why I was bringing him there.
Nah, because he's like, no fucking buffalo, is it? And he's like, no, man, ain't no buffalo, man. It's something else. I got something for you. And he was like, oh, I better come right now.
I think you'll like it.
Oh, you're going to get drilled in the throat, motherfucker.
See, I mean, I quite like that buffalo.
I like that buffalo.
And it's big.
It's probably, out of all buffalo paintings I've seen.
Yeah, it's up there. At least top 10.
It's in my top 5 buffalo paintings.
Ooh.
It's in my top only buffalo painting I think I've ever seen.
So wait, speaking of top 5.
What would I rate this?
What would you rate this out of 5? We were going to write something on a bit of paper.
Oh my god, we were going to do that. We completely didn't do that.
We don't have any paper.
We don't have any... Well, there's paper in my bag.
No, that's too far.
It's all the way over there. But you know what?
I think we can rock, paper, scissors this.
Do you know what? Last time I said I was going to give it a 1. I think I'm going to revise that.
Really?
I think I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Oh, that's noble of you.
Honestly, it's better the second time you watch it.
But I've only watched it 1.5 times.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Cool, that is absolutely
Did not
fine.
think it was good at all. I mean, I
swear to Christ, it's a comedy though. I swear to Christ.
It's an art house film.
Yeah, but mate,
that's the thing.
It's literally like he lives in a fucking massive studio apartment in New York with a kooky girl. It's basically New Girl with a drill in it. Like, it's basically New Girl.
It's was it 2 guys ago on a pizza place?
Exactly.
It's that. They have pizza.
It's as horrific as Ryan
Stuff
Reynolds'
pizza
career.
in their face.
It's got a guy
that pizza scene is so good.
Do you know what was an unnecessary scene? Lesbian shower scene. Unnecessary. Come on, it's.
I don't know if it's being a bit of an exploitation film. It's necessary.
Hey, come back, man! You ain't got your suitcase, man. Do you even know your stuff? Do you even know what?
Do you even know how to shower?
Oh, come on, man! What are you doing in there? You take forever. Oh my god. So the Sadist Filth rating of this bad boy is 3 out of 10.
Which I'm really happy about, because I was worried that we're just going to be like horror fanboys and give everything 9 or 10.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Because there was some shit out there.
Like, for example, I was surprised how good Demons was.
For example, if we had to do something along the lines of 13 Ghosts, that is a 1 out of 10 film.
Oh, not 10 out of 10.
That is a 1 out of 10. That is a 1 out of 5 for me.
It's an excellent film.
Fuck you, James.
We should probably go back and watch the original film of that, though.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because I've never seen that.
It's one of the 60s films, though.
Yeah, because the follow-up is great.
Oh, no, James. Oh, god.
It's guilty pleasure.
Yeah, so fucking strangling myself and jerking off, but I don't talk to anyone about it.
Well, you're telling the world.
It's called the carradine, James. It's a thing that people do.
It helps me get through the day.
It's how you kill Bill. So, Demons was a... What was Demons? Was it a 9?
I think it was a 9, yeah.
Shit, bro. It was a 9, and this is a 3.
It was either a 9 or an 8.5.
I
feel like I gave it a
It was
half.
still a strong one compared to this one. Now, let's hope that there's some sort of fluctuation going, because if we're going to do Bare Blood next time, which I'm super excited for...
Yeah, same. Because that's a film that neither one of us have seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to go into this brand new. Oh, we need to do some films that you've seen that I haven't.
Got to find some of them.
Yeah, I'm sure there are... I've hit myself in the teeth.
Oh dear.
I'm sure there are some of them.
You've seen Cannibal Holocaust, haven't you? Oh, have you not?
Cannibal Holocaust? No.
Okay.
Cannibal Ferox I own from Germany, so it's the uncut version, and it features all the animal killing, and that shit's not cool.
That shit's in Cannibal Holocaust as well.
Has it got a woman getting meat hooks in the tits and lifted up by the tits?
It's got a woman being spiked between the legs onto a pole. I think you've seen Cannibal... what's it called?
Cannibal Ferox.
No, the other one.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, I think you've seen Holocaust.
Maybe I've seen them both. Because I think I found one on YouTube. The one I don't... I definitely have Ferox. Do you know what the rankest bit for me in Ferox isn't the bit where a guy gets his dick chopped off and eaten right in front of him. It's a bit where they grab this guy and force him into this table, and they put this like thing under his chin, so just the top of his head sticking through the table. Like they force him into this custom-made table for like a Caucasian American man. Then they slice the top of his head off, and he's like still alive. And then they eat his brain. Oh, nice. That for me was the rankest bit.
So they lectured him.
I didn't like the bit where they capture a real turtle and fuck it up and
That's
eat
Holocaust.
the real turtle. Is that Holocaust?
That's Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Ferox, they chop a monkey's face off, and it's fucking horrible.
Oh,
this little monkey like screaming for help, and then real monkey, they slice its face off, and I'm like, that shit ain't cool.
Oh, man.
I think they eat a crocodile in Cannibal Ferox.
Though, be honest though, a monkey would happily rip your face off.
No, that's a chimpanzee, bro. You got to watch out. Those are apes. Those are the great apes. I'm talking about a little monkey.
Chimpanzee would happily
got
rip
a
your
tail.
face off.
Motherfucker was happy in the tree. Motherfucker literally faceless right now.
Oh god, they took his face off.
They took his face off. That shit's unnecessary.
Travolta would be slapping that all over him now.
They didn't even stick Nicolas Cage's face over the monkey.
They didn't?
Nah.
God damn it.
They didn't even get bees in his eyes.
That's useless. The bees!
Apparently, right, Nicolas Cage came out and said that film was supposed to be a comedy.
No,
That's what he honestly
he was just
said.
drunk.
This is what I heard, bro. He said it was supposed to be funny.
Had he seen the original? I reckon he hadn't, and he was just reading a script. He's like, oh yeah, this will be jokes.
Me and my brother hadn't seen the original until we lived in East Finchley. That's a lie. Archway. And I went up to Richard's room, and he was like, should we watch Wicker Man? It's a classic. And we were like, yeah. 10 minutes in, I was just like, didn't expect this to be a musical. And I fucking hate musicals.
It's not a musical.
Oh, that film is a musical.
That film's not a musical.
There is so many music numbers in it. There's so many bits where there's people just singing for ages. It's a fucking musical.
No, it's just pagan.
Mate, it's
running around,
it's a
dancing.
musical. It's got more shit.
It's just getting naked, jumping over things.
It's got like Grease numbers in it. Like, what was that? Naked people? It's Grease with naked people. And a big burning man and a wicker.
It's all about nature.
It was weird. It's not as fucking good as that bit from Don't Look Now. Have you seen Don't Look Now?
I'm not sure.
It's worth it just for the ending.
Yeah?
It's like his little girl goes missing. Spoilers. What's going on? Rest of the film's irrelevant. Boring. Final scene. Donald Sutherland walks in.
No.
He sees the little girl in the red coat. And he's just like, oh, there's my little girl. She's facing the wall. A.K.A. Blair Witch Project in the corner.
No.
He walks over. Little girl turns around. It's some sort of little old man creature. And it just walks towards him. And it was genuinely terrifying.
Does he shoot it in the face?
I think he gets killed by it. As soon as this is done, we're getting that shit up on YouTube because that bit's so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
It's so good.
So speaking of when we're done.
Speaking of being done.
I think we're done.
I think we're done, bro.
Yeah, sorry everyone. This film isn't great. My bad. I mean, we would have had to go through it anyway because we're going to go through all of the video nasties at some point, which I don't think we've mentioned in the first one.
Do we not?
No, that we're going to do these purely on horror. A lot of them are going to be video nasties, especially at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure we said this was a horror podcast before, right?
Horror, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're not
like
just
a lot of them are going to be
we're
video
throw
nasties.
some modern ones in there.
Yeah, maybe some horror game and stuff.
Yeah, maybe some video. Probably do a Sinister 2 episode because me and James saw that shit at the cinema and it was literally an abortion. Like literally, I had a coat hanger inside me at one point.
He did. I had to pull that thing out.
Oh, that film was bad.
God, they do not design those things to come out the way they go.
No, they don't, do they? It ripped. It ripped. Yeah, we didn't mention that.
No.
We also didn't mention that it was. This is why I had to record an extra bit in my shitty house, and you can hear a guy cutting the lawn in the background because I was just like, we didn't mention that this is going to be like fortnightly, and also we were like, oh, listen to the other thing we did. Listen to the Wreck episode. Listen to the Terminator episode. We didn't mention the title, which is Chris and Lee's failure to communicate. Listen to the Wreck episode because James is in it. James hates Wreck. I don't understand why he's a fucking idiot.
Awful
listen
film.
to that episode. You might change it.
Watch Quarantine. It's great. No. That's even worse.
We also had Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
Which had no drum solos in it. Which is weird for something called Genesis.
Yeah, but still a great film. Really enjoyed it.
Great film.
Yeah, spectacular
Okay,
almost.
film. Jesus Christ, James. Oh, you're putting
Rivals
people off.
T2.
Oh, you're putting people off. You're putting people off.
Got a
your
good
taste.
shoe tying scene.
So yeah, do those things. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. We're gonna watch Bay o' Blood.
Yeah, which is the guy's name who I can't remember.
Is it Dario?
No, not Dario Argento. It was
Lamberto.
Lamberto
Bava, right?
Bava. Yeah, well
Mate,
done.
we are going to struggle with people's names during
Yeah,
this
so unfortunately, this is Lamberto Bava's dad, who did Bay of Blood. So we're going to struggle with his name.
Yeah, boy.
We might get Bava.
Which is probably
But
pronounced
yeah,
wrong.
if we do a lot of, it's probably Bava. If we do a lot of like Giallo stuff, we're going to butcher a lot of names. So
A
get
lot of
used to
people's
that.
names are getting. A lot of people's names are going to get driller killed in the spine.
Yep, slow and inefficient.
Anything would have been a better. You live in America. You just get a gun. It could have been called Gun Killer. You know, it would have been relevant as
Just
well.
get a hammer.
Hammer Killer. You could have
Right,
invented
get a
hammer
toolbox.
time. Get a toolbox. Toolbox killer murderers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? Anything. Mate, in Texas they got chainsaws that kill people.
Which, speaking of which, when they were talking about the Driller Killer initially, when I read that, I was like, I wonder if it's anything to do with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because the true thing of that is a guy who killed some people with a power
my
drill.
favourite serial killer of all time. We should do an episode just on Ed Gein. He's my favourite serial killer of all time. Well, he's not really a serial killer. He's my favourite killer of all time. I love Ed Gein.
You're like that kid in the new Scream series on Netflix. It's awful, but he loves
that
serial
is bad.
killers.
That show is bad.
It's so bad. They were like, how can we include Imager in a sentence?
Let's change the most recognisable thing about Scream and then give that most recognisable thing about Scream a backstory to go with its
And
new
a
look.
new a new face. I guess they couldn't use the old face because it's
They were like, look,
so popular
Wes
now.
Craven's going to be dead soon anyway, so you know,
He can
whatever.
turn as much as he likes.
He can say whatever the fuck he wants. At the end of the day, see you later.
They stuck to the whole thing of keeping it modern and like postmodern. But I think they did it better.
No, they did an awful job because they're like, instead of being like, you can't say you can't leave the room and say I'll be right back because you're gonna die. And he's like, I'll be right back. Oh, horror tropes. Oh man, that one's gonna die first. The killer. No, this time around they're like, hey bruh, I was on the Twitter earlier, and on Facebook. The Walking Dead was trending on my iPhone. Like, unnecessary shit. It's like someone's dad wrote it.
It's like, hey, did you see the killer's GIF?
Oh my god, yeah.
The killer did a selfie GIF.
He did a GIF.
It's like, is that the first like killer selfie?
Oh my god. Oh, instead of like, oh hey, I'm Courtney Cox. I'm from the news. I'm here to report. It's hey,
serial.
I'm not Courtney Cox. I'm here from a podcast.
We can't really talk.
Yeah, but fuck you guys.
But she's serial.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I
They're
was
just
like, you
serial.
can't be serial. And she
Serial.
was like, why so serial? And I was just like, oh my god. And at that point, I've seen 2 episodes. I watched 2 episodes around Chris's house on his birthday. We had salmonella pizza, and I was lucky that I had to leave because of the salmonella poisoning.
I watched 4 to 5 episodes in the background while I was like washing up and stuff.
There's a series 2 of Dust Till Dawn.
I saw that come out, yeah. And didn't they finish it?
This is series 6 of Archer.
Is that
It's
out?
on Netflix right now. Yeah.
Shit.
But I didn't finish the
I'm
last 2 episodes
binging
of
that.
Dust Till Dawn.
Well, that's why I did with Walking Dead. Don't start the new series unless you watch the last 2 episodes.
I'm pretty sure when I left it,
they got in the
Quentin
car and drove
Tarantino
off.
character was still alive.
They got in the car and drove off at the end, didn't they?
I'm sure they're still going to be fighting
They
vampires.
ended the film.
Yeah, but then
Is this a follow-up film? Oh, they did.
Seth Thingy carried on afterwards.
They
He didn't
did
die.
3 Dust Till Dawns, didn't they?
Yeah, but they didn't relate to the other one really, apart from Danny Trejo's and all of them.
Well, he's in everything. Is like
Have you seen that
As
fucking
the
old El
Mexican.
Paso advert he's in?
Yeah.
When he goes to make that kid a fucking taco or whatever, and the kid's like, "No, man, I can do it myself." And then she does it, and he just stares at her like he's going to kill her.
Face.
He looks at her like she's going to die, and it's like a brief, like, I felt my heart stop. And I was like, he's going to kill a kid. And then he just goes...
He's going to stuff her into a taco.
He just laughs at this little kid, and it's the fucking weirdest... It's the weirdest advert I've ever seen. It's fucking awesome.
He must be minted. He's been in so many films.
Allegedly, he said he's been in so much shit that he will sit and watch a film and not realise he's in it. And then when he sees he's in it, be like, oh my God, no way. He said he went back to his hometown once, right? And he was standing across from a shop that he used to rob. Like, he got caught robbing, and I don't know if he went to prison or not, but he was shoplifting from it. And he was standing there staring at it, being like, oh my God, my life. Like, this is what I used to do. And then a kid walked up to him and then asked for his autograph because he liked him in Spy Kids. And he's just like, how my life has changed. Danny Scrooge.
Wow.
Should we leave it there, bro?
Yeah, let's leave it there.
Let's leave it there. So,
don't watch Driller Killer.
Don't watch Driller Killer. We're going to watch Bay of Blood. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the horns right now. Keep it real, boys.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Go suck a fuck.
How exactly does... You don't even know how to suck a fuck. You don't even know how to...
You don't even know how to suck a fuck.
You don't even know how one sucks a fuck.
You don't even know what a fuck ass is.